So many people are saying so many things. So MadMan presents What the are they saying? Hello guys, thank you for tuning in. So I was asked this question by one of my friends that is currently showing on the screen. So basically the question is, what is the purpose of meditation and is meditation helpful? Now before I speak any further, let me remind you guys one more time that whatever I'm speaking here today, it is just what I think is right. It is my concept, right? So let me begin it. Now, what is the purpose of meditation, right? So if we just observe our mind, at any point, we're always thinking about something, right? Whether it may be appreciating something or criticizing something or making plans or thinking about the past, whatever it may be, our mind is always occupied by continuous chain of thoughts without any break, right? And these chain of thoughts are just words that have no existence in the reality. These are just words. These are just your past that is playing itself in your mind. And this is the main reason that makes us worried, that makes us frustrated, and that makes us anxious most of the time. Now, for me, the purpose of meditation is to experience the gaps in these thoughts consciously, right? So I say consciously because the only time we experience gaps in these thoughts is when we're in deep sleep, right? And we are unconscious in our deep sleep. So the purpose of meditation is to experience the gap in these thoughts consciously. Now let's get to the second point, and that is, how do we meditate? How to meditate? Now the most important thing here to notice is that most things that we do in our life is something that we have to travel a certain distance, that we have to put some effort, and the goal is always in the end. The result is always in the end. But it is exactly the opposite for meditation, right? Because when you're going to meditate, you don't think of something in your mind that you want to achieve in meditation. It does not work like that. So it is always very useful, at least for me, to think that we're going to waste the next chunk of time in meditation. You're not trying to make it productive, you're not expecting anything from it, you're just going to waste that time. Now, I prefer to sit in a cross-legged position, eyes closed, spine comfortably erect, and head turned slightly upward. That is how I prefer. But obviously, sitting in a cross-legged position is not for everyone. So just sit however you feel comfortable. The main point here is to feel comfortable, right? So just sit however you feel comfortable and allow everything to happen to you. Allow everything to happen to you. Now, what I mean by that is, for example, let's assume that there is some sound in the environment. Now, don't try to focus on that sound, because focusing implies that there is someone, there is an entity, the entity that we discussed in many of my videos. There is this entity that is trying to focus on that sound. So there is someone focusing, right? There is a doer and there is the doing. Doer is the entity that is trying to focus, and doing is the act of focusing. So don't do that, but allow it to happen to you, because this body is capable of hearing without any entity, right? Even in the absence of that entity, this body is capable of hearing itself, because when the sound bounces into our ears and whatever things that goes in the background, the hearing happens. So no one has to try to hear anything, the hearing happens. So in the similar fashion, just allow everything to happen to you. Now, it is absolutely normal that in the beginning of meditation, you are bothered by your thoughts, right? You get so many thoughts and you get frustrated. You feel like you're not doing it the right way. So, even if that happens to you, just remember that you have to allow those thoughts to happen. So, what I mean by that is, don't try to battle with those thoughts and desperately try to remove them or try to change them. Because when you do that, you'll get more entangled in the thoughts. So, even if that happens to you, just allow those thoughts to happen to you and don't force anything. So, again, sit comfortably and allow everything to happen to you. And even if you get bothered by your thoughts or anything, don't put any effort to change them, but let them happen. And also, another important thing to keep in mind is that don't try to make your meditation productive. In other words, don't try to expect anything out of it. Just before you're going to meditate, just think that you're going to waste the next chunk of time and you're not gaining anything out of it. It is a waste of time. Right now, having said that, thank you for tuning in. If you want me to talk about anything, just comment in the comment section below and I'll talk about those things in my other videos. Now, having said that, thank you for tuning in and thank you for your love and support. If you want to buy helpful books, just go to www.hellomadman.com. Thank you.